Hey, we're Flick and Joe, and this is our dog Walter. In 2022, we made the crazy decision to quit our full-time jobs, pack up our lives, and move aboard our blue water sailing boat. We spent many months refitting her and getting her ready for our plans until one day we actually did it. We cast off the lines, we pointed her south, and off we went. We've now sailed over 1,000 nautical miles, dodging orcas, yes, actually, and most of the rocks along the way. Join us for the beautiful, quite stressful but endlessly eventful life that is full-time living aboard.
Wow. This week you're joining us an hour or so into a 216 nautical mile trip along the Spanish coast. We've left Estepona and plan on stopping somewhere near Cartagena. Why the rush? Well, as we've mentioned in a previous video, we're aiming to get over to Mallorca for the beginning of April in order to watch my brother race in the laser class sailboat and take my dad out on Nendaz too. It is currently the 23rd of March, so time is ticking.
Right, drop down.
We set off after some lunch at Anchor in Estepona, and you join us as we're trying to do our 30 press-ups a day daily challenge, although this ended up being a one-day challenge.
Your dad not wearing a life jacket and not wearing deck shoes.
If you time it right with the wave,
I know, you get help.
it helps you. If you time it really badly, it makes it a lot harder. The wave sort of helps you pop up. That's 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You going for 20?
No.
Oh.
Can't do 30 back to back.
Yeah, you can.
Not too wide, yeah. Down, all the way. Down. You're on a slope as well.
That sounds way too for you to notice. I'm still a hill.
You're not even doing, you're on a slope and you're not even doing them properly. That's silly.
We're now on our way to somewhere south of Cartagena, just south of, and at the moment we've been under engine I reckon for like maybe 2 hours because there's just no wind really, but it is ideal, it's like dreamy. I feel very happy with the conditions like this, and our little engine's doing really well. And out there somewhere is Sailing Saffron, so we've got our little buddy boat. Hopefully they'll come a bit closer when it gets to night time, but not too close, and then we can radio each other through the night. So then you're on night watch, but you're not on your own on night watch because there's someone else doing night watch, which is a really nice thing to think about. I'm excited. It'll be interesting to see what the clouds, what the stars are like in the Med, because we haven't, well, I've never been in the middle of the Med before. I've only ever really been to like resorts or really humid, like Greece. You don't really get many clouds in the summer, that many stars in the summer. But for now, look at this. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, back. Sit. Thank you. And can you tell me, sir, how are you enjoying this passage so far? Oh, good boy. Very good. And are you happy with the weather? Anything to report? Did we see any fishes? Fishes? Where are the fishes? Dude? Hello,
Hello.
Sprout.
Just messaging Chris.
What's happening, Chris?
They've lost their chart plotter, AIS and radar, and now he said
tell
who
him
needs
he
AIS
kept disappearing for us.
Yeah.
They're 3.5 miles away from us. We should hopefully have picked them up with our AIS for that far.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see them! They are there somewhere, a tiny little dot. Oh, good boy, Wal. Wal's having his first drink of the day. Woo! We have had our dinner and it's now 6:30 on the dot. And we're just getting ready to settle down for the evening. For night 1 of 2. It's been a very... been very easy passage so far. There's very flat seas and no wind really. It's supposed to pick up to like 10 knots later in the evening, but so far we've got like 4 or 5 knots. Barely. We're motor sailing, and in the last half hour it's sort of swung round so it's behind us. It was sort of on our beam before, so it was, even though it was only 5 knots, it was giving us another 1 knot or half a knot speed, whereas now it's giving us nothing. Hello. Have you seen any fish? Nothing? Don't believe it.
It does make you remember how slow sailing is. Well, not sailing, motoring. This is a long journey.
Hello, kid. Are you gonna do your number 2 today? Probably not gonna do that.
What's your least favourite thing about a long passage?
Trying to make him poop. What else? My least favourite thing.
Yeah.
Guess if there's any waves making you feel sick. Not even making you feel sick, just making it impossible to do anything. Like, it's really hard to cook or just do anything down below.
What's your favourite thing?
Favourite thing? Don't know, I just like being out here. Especially when it's like this, sunset now.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. It'd be nice if we had a little bit more wind though.
Yeah.
Just like 5 knots.
Just to push us along a little bit quicker.
That 10 knots of wind would be so nice to have right now.
Yeah.
Love you. You happy about going into the night? It's very relaxing. There's not really any wind. And there's certainly no waves.
Really rocks.
Can't claim that this is swelling.
No, no swell. This is nice.
Just sitting down here, Mum.
And there's no rocks.
No rocks. Yeah, we're miles away from land, so about 5 miles away.
I like it though that you can still see land.
This is the closest point, so as we go through the night, we're going. This is a bay,
Yeah.
so it will start to fall away from us. Land will.
But you still got to see it.
Should be able to, yeah.
Just makes you feel a bit more like, okay, well, if there's a problem,
Yeah.
there you go, just go in there.
There you go.
Do you reckon we'll get many stars?
Hope so. It's quite a clear night, isn't it? I reckon we'll get really nice stars. Sponsored by Cadbury's Dairy Milk
We wish.
in association with
Sailing Nendaz.
Don't wanna sleep tonight at all. Just wanna watch them stars fall. But you don't wanna try to make up dreams just to be seen. I wanna lay here beside you, all quiet. Fire breath and open sky. It's not what we know, it's where we go. I grow wings and tell her goodbye. Oh, it's not what we see, it's what we choose to be. there's high grass and bare feet. Oh, but you each second is a treat. I keep my balance next to you. It's true, nowadays there's nothing I wouldn't do.
The wind picked up in the night, and it was enough to finally be able to switch the engine off. A lot of people hate the sound of the engine and find it impossible to sleep with. But for Flick and I, we love it. It drowns out all the creaks and squeaks that Nendaz makes as we sail, and it makes sleeping very peaceful for us. But there is something wonderfully magical about being on watch through the night with a gentle breeze pushing you along. It is almost 7 o'clock in the morning now. This is the first night done. The swell picked up in the night. It was quite rocky, not that comfy to sleep in. But yeah, otherwise not too bad. Good morning. It is just after 7 o'clock, I think. No, yeah, it's 6:45 in the morning. And last night's passage was testing. We had such flat, calm seas with like 5 to 10 knots of breeze in the daytime, but then in the night the swell was just really uncomfy. It was these sort of short, sort of 1 meter waves. It wasn't that bad, it was just a little bit uncomfy. It just made it hard to sleep down below. But now I'm getting treated to this most amazing sunrise. I'm actually waiting for the sun to come up. The sun hasn't come up yet, but the sky is slowly lighting up. New head sail or spinnaker pole. We tried that out and it's worked really well last night. So you can see that attached to the mast, and boom, pulling out the head sail. What that means is that when it's light winds like this, and especially when there's a bit of swell, we can pull out the head sail and it doesn't slap around and shock load the rigging and just make a really loud and not very nice, not very pleasant noise. Just really admiring the sunrise. It's so pretty. I'll show you. So pretty. Oh. We had some amazing stars last night. I saw shooting stars. We saw we always seem to see it, so I think it's quite common. We saw lots of phosphorescence in the water. Just, yeah, quite pretty night. And a pretty morning now as well. I stayed up till about 1 o'clock, and then Flick came in and did her watch, which was like 1 o'clock till 4:30ish. It was supposed to be 4, sort of, but it just kind of went on a bit. So Flick did 1 till 4, which is I think quite a hard shift. It's like proper like middle of the night or whatever, like twilight hours. Like I just had to stay up. I didn't go to bed. I just stayed up late till like 1 o'clock, and then I took over at 4 o'clock, and here we are now. And Flick's gonna come up at 7, so in probably like 10 minutes. I think I've had about 3, maybe 4 hours sleep this evening. This view is just so good. I'll show you more of the sunrise. It's so good. Boom. Maybe I should get some slow-mo of this. I'm gonna cue the slow-mo here. Boom. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you sleep well?
I slept better than you did.
Did you manage to get to sleep though?
I didn't get to sleep that time because I just had really bad tummy pain.
Yeah.
I just lay there really like still. It was nice.
And did you sleep okay, sir?
No.
You didn't sleep too good either. You had a good snooze with Daddy on the sofa at one point.
Probably quite tired. A tired people on the boat and a tired dog.
Tired.
Very good. The sunlight on the deck looks amazing. Sponsored by Kiwi Grip. Oh wow, Flick! Come on! Dolphins for sunrise, baby! Whoa! See him? Right there. Look how chill they're coming. Here's one. He's right here. There's 2 of them. Sunrise dolphin show. What the hell, man? Yep. That's pretty cool. It's like a second pod. There's more coming. Whoa! Cool dolphin, morning dolphin show.
Yeah. Makes the tire unreliable.
Wow. They're doing so many jumpings out of the water.
They're doing tricks. Showing off the sun.
It's so cool. The sun's so bright.
It's so bright. That's the best.
The dolphins stuck around for the next hour or so, and we both sat up on the bow, watched the sunrise, and enjoyed the show that the dolphins were putting on for us. You probably heard it in my voice, but there's just something so awe-inspiring and mesmerizing watching dolphins. Watching them effortlessly cut through the water, it totally brings out the inner child in me. I just get so excited, and the experience just never gets old. Quick intermission here. I wanted to ask something of you guys. Please click that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, or just drop us a comment and let us know what content you'd like to see more or less of. Over 55% of our viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel. Did you know subscribing is free to do? For a long time, my own mum hadn't subscribed because she thought it would cost her money. So click that subscribe button. You have nothing to lose. Can I turn Starlink off?
Yeah, but why? We can see we got power.
Well, we're not recharging as much as like.
Another one.
There's a German boat in front of us. I don't know where they came from. I think they came somewhere from along the coast.
They're going the same direction as us.
Yeah, they've been following. They appeared this morning.
This is a big bowl of pasta.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Well, wait there, Dan.
Oh, watches at the bottom.
Slowing down.
Big
Some
wave.
big rolling waves, aren't there?
Yeah. I'm glad we've got them on our bottom and on our side.
Yeah, the trouble is once we jibe, that's what I thought I'd do for you now. At some point we're going to have to jibe and go across the land. It's going to be more side on to the waves. That's the other great thing about the pole, right? We can go dead downwind, so we're following the waves exactly. So they're not really rocking us that much, they're just lifting us up and down. Whereas at the moment, like Chris and Amy, they're having to zigzag through them, so they're going to have them on the back corner. Be chucking you around a bit more. Wind's shifting.
Will it help us? We won't have to drive.
Hmm?
Will it mean we won't have to drive?
No, it means we have to jibe sooner.
Yeah.
And we want to take advantage of the wind shift. If the wind shifts in a certain way though, you can jibe and basically be on the same course you were on like 5 minutes before. Hello. Delicioso.
Delicious.
Oh, a treat for the boy. Just going for the pasta, none of the salad.
No, not the salad kind of guy. He's not keen.
He's just licking the salad clean.
Yes, the
That's what
olive
he's
oil,
doing.
I like the olive oil.
You're such a funny dog. So, we are coming into the end of day number 2 on this 215 mile passage. Yeah, we're well over halfway. We're probably about 2/3 of the way through. We're due to arrive at the anchorage around 10 o'clock in the morning, so tomorrow morning. It's currently 5:45 in the afternoon. The sun is beginning its very long sunset, and yeah, I don't know, just been chilling. I got a few hours sleep today whilst Flick sat up here on watch, and yeah, it was cool. Flick's really happy. She's sleeping down below now. She's getting a couple hours of sleep. She's like out cold. It's just really nice. It's like really chilled, relaxed vibe on the boat. Whereas some of the other passages we've done, not like because we've been fighting with each other or anything, but it's because Flick, we've had worse weather with some of the overnight passages. We've had some pretty rough weather actually, and Flick's been struggling with her anxiety, like sailing related anxiety, because she never really suffered with it before. No way, at least not to anywhere near this extent. But this passage, she's been super chilled, really happy, and yeah. I'm so happy with how our So we bought a spinnaker pole in Gibraltar. We've been wanting one for ages, like a telescopic whisker pole to hold out the head sail. We don't even have a spinnaker. It's just for the head sail. But it's really hard to find. I was going to buy one when we were still in the UK, but they cost like £1,200, so like $1,500 for a new one, minimum. Just randomly, we're in a chandlery in Gibraltar, and they had a brand new Selden giant telescopic spinnaker pole, and it was for a little over £700, which is so cheap. It's almost half price compared to what you can get in the UK for the same price, and it's so good. I'll show you. So there it is. Yep. Got my head sail poled out there. So even though it's light winds now, the sail is the head sail is held out. It keeps its shape, and it's able to drive the boat more. But also, it doesn't have this horrible thing where the waves knock the wind out the sail, and then the wind fills it again, and it goes with an almighty whip, and it like shock loads all of the rigging, and I just really hate it when it does that. Often when it was like that down the Atlantic coast, coming down here from England, we would actually just like put the head sail away or heavily refit. What's really cool about the spinnaker pole, the telescopic spinnaker pole, for those who don't know, is that you can pull out your head sail, and because it's not smashing around, you can go really deep downwind. So you can go to like 160 degrees based on, well, true or apparent wind. They're pretty much the same going downwind anyway. But you can get to like 160, 165 degrees, and you can, so it means you can sail so deep downwind, which is great because on this particular passage, loads of other boats, including our friends sailing Saffron, sorry guys, they've been having to zigzag downwind basically because it's light wind sailing, and they haven't got quite enough wind to keep the head sail filled if they go wing on wing without a pole, so it slaps around, so they have to go higher, a higher angle, to keep the sails filled and happy. And it means we're just cruising. We're having to do less jibes and sailing less distance and making pretty much the same speed, or at the moment slightly ahead. There's currently 9 knots of true wind speed, and we're pootling along at 4.8 knots, 4.6 knots, and it's just, yeah, so relaxing. Love it. We've seen so many dolphins today as well. Oh my god. Right. Well, in. Stop going on deck without me.
Good evening, viewers. We're on day 2, evening 2. I'm very tired. It's been a really good passage. That in that, like, you know, I felt really not confident, but you know, I haven't felt anxious. But I've just been so tired. I think it's maybe an element of obviously like bad shift patterns, probably a bit of like hormone stuff, but also just, I think it's just really tiring. All the sunshine, you know, when you go on a beach holiday and then you're like really tired on the first day. I think it's a lot of fresh air. Exhausting. But tonight we're gonna have some hot food. We've got a pie that we got in in Morrison's or in Carp or something in Gibraltar, which we put in the freezer. We've just defrosted it today. So get some nice hot food. Just shoved it in the air fryer.
As the second night drew closer and the sun was setting, I reflected on what we'd achieved. It was the first overnight passage we'd ever done where it would be just the 2 of us. I mean, the 3 of us. Sorry, Walter. Both Flick and I have grown as sailors, Flick becoming a very competent crew member, and I felt increasingly confident in my own skills as a skipper. I realise that this might not seem like much to some of you sailors out there, but to us, this passage was a significant milestone. It was a 216 nautical mile trip, which would end up being 2 nights over 3 days. Sure, some people have accomplished far greater things in the sailing world, but this passage still represented something really big to us in our own little sailing world. And we were just proud, very proud of ourselves. And to top it all off, Walter did something very proud-making too. He'd been refusing to go for a poop since we left, and it had been almost 36 hours now. And finally, it was time, at the dawn of our 3rd day on passage.